Hi Carla Devi, this is Melinda Rai. How are you? Hello, can you hear me, Devi? Hello, are you here with us? We cannot hear you, Carla Devi. Can you please check your audio settings? Make sure your mic is enabled. Hello everyone, this is Melinda Roy. I'm the host for the today's event WIL Virtual Summit 2023. So Carla has already joined the session. So she has some technical issues. We are working on it. So please just wait for a few minutes. Carla, can you hear us? We cannot hear you. We can see you. We can see you, but we cannot hear you. Did you check on your mic? Hi Carla, we cannot hear your voice. We can see you beautiful, but we cannot hear you. Uh, or do you want to rejoin? Yes, Carla. Can you hear us? Yeah, we can hear. Carla, can you please unmute and talk? Just now we had a voice from you. I think it's working. Carla, can you please unmute and talk? I know sometimes technology will trouble us, but that's fine. We are here to help you. Carla, can you hear us? But we cannot hear you. Can you please talk, Carla? Can you please rejoin? Can you please come out from this session and rejoin? Some technical issue. Could you please wait a few more minutes? So she's trying to reconnect. Our technical team was supporting her. Could you please wait for a few minutes? If not, we can join another session. Yeah, she is here. Yes, Carla. We can see your screen, but we cannot hear you. Carla, can you talk something? We cannot hear your voice. Yes, still, Carla, still we cannot hear your voice. Did you enable your mic when joining for the event? It will ask you for a pop-up. So, Carla, let's go for another session and you can talk with the technical team. After 30 minutes, we can join. Is that fine for you? Just say heads up.
Oh, well, they went on to a different presenter now, I think.
Yeah, hi Carla.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're ready now. Okay. Hello. Great. Can
Hi
you hear me
Carla,
now?
Sridevi, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me now?
How we can hear you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for technical support. Awesome. I'm so sorry for the problems. Yes, we're good to go.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
okay, no problem.
Yeah. I'm
Sometimes
going to
it will
move forward with
happen.
my
No
presentation
problem.
now then.
Thank you so much for joining this event. This is Melinda Roy. So, Carla Sridevi, before you start your presentation, I would like to give a brief introduction of yours.
Oh, okay. Great. Please do.
Yes. So, Carla Sridevi, known as emotional alchemist, empowers women navigating life, work, or career transitions to move forward with confidence, courage, and clarity, fostering harmony between body, mind, and heart. She is a certified rapid results coach, emotional intelligence expert, and master healer, proficient in over 25 healing modalities. Carla has graced the same stage as Janet Edward, Kim Kiyosaki, and Jack Canfield. She provides both group and individual coaching, and she is a best-selling author. In 2022, she received the Exceptional Global Woman Award, and in 2023, she was nominated for the 1 Million Lives campaign in recognition of her transformative work, inspiring change in countless lives worldwide. Carla Sridevi is also the visionary behind the Women's Health Revolution. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much for joining this event, Carla Sridevi. You can start your beautiful presentation.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate all your patience. Thank you all. And we apologize for whatever technical problems were going on there. So yeah, it's great to be with you all. And where I am, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. So not on Paris time, definitely. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story really quick before I get into some of the content. Sorry, this skipped a little too fast. We're having now it's control issues. So I was in the entertainment industry. I worked with people like George Benson, Bette Midler, Michael Jackson. Some of those names are people that you would probably know. And I worked very, very hard. And I did publicity campaigns for these people all over the world. And eventually I moved into something called development work in Hollywood, which is the people that help write scripts. I would change scripts. I would fix books and option books so that we could present. I would turn them into stories and add talent to them, fix the script. And then I would turn around and sell it to the feature film companies like Paramount or Disney or whatever. And then eventually some of the smaller production companies as well, and television. So I loved my job, but I was a woman in a man's world. And so in order to raise myself up to the level I wanted, I believed that I had to work very, very hard. And so to that end, I started putting in a 70-hour work week. And you can imagine that eventually that was, it took its toll on my body. I started falling asleep a little bit on the job, a little bit more. And my little teeny naps turned into very long sleeps. And eventually my employer was probably ready to fire me, but it didn't matter because my body was giving out. And so I ended up going to the doctors. And by the time I went to the doctors, they found that I had an elevated white blood cell count and a constant fever. And they ran a lot of tests on me and they couldn't figure out what the problem was. I ended up, they finally gave up on me and they basically sent me home with antidepressants and said, here, take these and hopefully it will help. And just go home and rest and then, you can come back to us. We think you're depressed, so take these antidepressants. Well, at the time I wasn't depressed, but once they gave me the antidepressants and told me they were basically giving up on me, I was depressed. And I took one of the antidepressants and I collapsed. I remember collapsing on the toilet, feeling very weak and very disheartened and crying. And I just decided then and there that, even though they couldn't help me, I was going to find the answers that I needed so I could get my health back and get my life back. But I ended up in bed for 2 years. So they tested everything. I tried all these different alternative therapies and nothing was working. And so what I'm about to share with you now is some of the things that I learned as a result of that experience that could possibly save you from having the kind of stress levels I did, having the health crisis that I did, and also help you move your business forward in a bigger way, because the things that I'm sharing with you, actually, they don't just affect your health, they affect everything in your life. So I'm going to talk a little bit about IQ versus EQ because some people don't really understand the difference, the relationship between our emotions and our thoughts, the secret cost of being emotionally illiterate, basically not understanding what our emotions mean, and then the 6 keys to raising your emotional intelligence. And that may not seem like something that's very important to you yet, but once I explain a little bit about it, maybe you'll understand why it's so important. So when we talk about IQ, we're talking about knowledge of the world, fluid reasoning, and things like your memory, your short-term memory, your long-term memory, but also reasoning. And it affects our academics, our expertise, our critical thinking, and our logic. That's what emotional intelligence, intellectual, the intellectual quotient is, IQ. So EQ is very different. It's all about relationships. It's about identifying our own emotions, identifying the emotions of other people, controlling our emotions, perceiving how other people feel, and using emotions to facilitate social communication. So relating to others, building those strong relationships. And when the difference between IQ and EQ, IQ is really about I. It's all about me, really. Whereas EQ is really about the we. EQ, when you think of the difference, that's important. Thank you for that. I see Steffi, that's an impressive profile. Thank you so much. All right, so this is how most people go around. We think we have to be superhuman, right? Super women, super men, and just charging forward regardless of what's going on. And this is kind of who I was back at that time. Not that I still have that, but it's different now. It's tempered. But what happens is when we have experiences in life, a lot of times things hit us as trauma and we don't recognize them as trauma. We may not even allow ourselves to feel the emotions that are coming up in our system. And so sometimes emotions, people don't understand that emotions can be a pain in your body. It can be your back going out. It can be a pain in your knee, but it's your body is trying to tell you that there's some emotion there that you're not paying attention to. It's actually a communication. It might be sometimes heat or cold or a vibration. So when we have an emotion, there's the people think that thoughts cause emotion. It's the other way around. There's emotion first. There's an event. There's an emotion. Then there's a thought. Then there's a chemical that drops in the body, and then that starts a pattern going over and over again. And then we go on until another event comes and triggers the same experience in us again. So sometimes when you react to something really strongly and you don't understand why you're reacting the way you are, it's because you're not recognizing, you haven't healed that original emotion that's in there. And so what's going on around you is tripping the same pattern off in your psyche and in your body. If you're with me so far, can you just put a yes in the chat? Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of yeses here. So here we go. Okay, thank you. A little delay there. Awesome. The world is my territory. I love that. So some of the things that most people think of these as thoughts, but they're actually caused by emotions that are being held in our body. So things like believing you're not good enough, that you're feeling overwhelmed, that you can't do it. You don't know. Have you ever had the experience where you don't feel like you don't know what you're doing, or that you're an imposter? If you can relate to that, maybe raise your hand or put a yes in the chat. If you have trouble deciding things, there's an emotion present, but you don't necessarily recognize it. And sometimes when you think no one will understand, that's also an emotion coming up in the body. So here's some of the indicators. These are things that let you know that you have emotions going on that you're not paying attention to. So when you start to feel constant fatigue, and you have decreased productivity, you're not able to focus, you feel your health may be declining, or mood fluctuations, neglecting your personal relationships, decreased passion and motivation, avoidance, feeling overwhelmed, financial strain. burnout and abdicating decision making, these are all signs of the emotions that have not been healed. And so if you're choosing to be healthy and you're choosing to have energy and passion in your life, it's about healing those emotions that you did recognize way back when. And I'm not talking about therapy, and I'm not talking about acting all crazy with all these different emotions. It's more about paying attention to them and learning how to decipher that you're having an emotion and what does it mean? Because emotions are actually, have you ever, I'm just curious, have you ever stopped and wondered why you're having an emotion? Like we're built in a certain way, and we have so many emotions in us. And I wonder how many people actually ask themselves, why do I even have emotions? I'm just curious. Has anybody here ever asked themselves that question? If you have, put a yes in the chat. So we have this thing called the window of tolerance. And when we are experiencing fatigue, anxiety, and we don't feel restored after sleep, or we have poor brain function, poor digestion and metabolism. Thank you for the yeses. I see those. Thank you so much. And impaired decision making and inflammation. There we go. Yeses. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we have a window of tolerance. It's about this big for each person. And the more emotions we haven't healed, the smaller that window of tolerance is. As we heal each emotion, what happens is one emotion can cause as much as 10 to 12,000 thoughts going on. So those thoughts, those 10 to 12,000 thoughts, are creating pressure on the system. The pressure actually starts to drain our energy levels, our focus, makes us feel fatigued, causes things like migraines and pains and aches and pains, backs going out. People always go, well, my back went out because I lifted this piece of furniture. But actually there was an event that happened before that you don't maybe even remember, that was an emotion that you didn't actually pay attention to. And had you paid attention to it, your back would have not gone into the position that it went into. I know for some of you, this will be like, I get that, I know that. And for some of you, this is going to be really new information. So we want to learn to heal so we can expand our window of tolerance. I have different techniques for that as well. So the problem is that when our mindset and our emotions are not in sync, then the tasks that we have on our to-do list, they don't get done. And stress levels really increase. So if you want to take the stress levels down and you want to be more productive, it's about healing those things that have been trapped in your body for a very long time. And as a healer, I don't know if we said that at the very beginning, but I have over 25 different certifications in a variety of healing modalities. And what I've learned, I've worked with thousands of people all over the world. And what I've learned is, if we don't take that time to tune in, then our body's going to take over eventually at some point. We're going to feel the implications of that, the ripple effect of not tuning in. So it's never just one emotion. Anger, when you're looking at an iceberg, right? You might be angry at the surface, but if you look down below that, you'll see, there's other emotions: embarrassed, grief, overwhelm, rejection. So usually anger's, the most superficial emotion, and then once we dig down into that, we'll find other things. Even when people say, I'm sad, I feel depressed. Depressed is grief. It's grief holding that has never been healed in the body. And so it's like breaking that cycle of grief comes about when we start to actually pay attention to those emotions and make peace with them. So I don't know how many of you have seen this. This is, I love this. So there was a man named Dr. David Hawkins, and he did a lot of research about thoughts and emotions. And what he found was every emotion has a frequency, a vibrational frequency. And he was able to put that down in this chart. And what happens is most people function, I don't know how well you can see this, but most people are functioning below 150 to 125. The majority of the population, he actually says, is at 200 and below. So the task for most people, if you're wondering what your purpose is here on the planet, is to try to get up to those higher vibratory levels where we get up into joy and peace and enlightenment. And the turning point is right at 200, when we go over courage, when we start to develop courage and we start to do things that maybe before we didn't think we could do. Now, one thing that sets us backward in our emotions is something I call stressors. Stressors are things on the outside that happen that cause our internal trigger to get triggered. So when you suddenly have an emotion, you suddenly feel angry, jealous, whatever, that's, something outside caused some stressor on the outside caused the trigger to shoot off and cause the reaction that you're feeling. So what you want to do is start to become conscious of when you're getting triggered, what's triggering you, because that awareness can start to make a big shift for you. I know for me, that was a big turning point in my healing journey. I did other things as well. I changed my diet. There's a lot of changes that happened as a result of that experience of being in bed for 2 years. But a big part of it was learning how to understand the language of my emotions and make use of them. And when you make peace with the emotions, you start to become more resilient, and you have more energy and more passion and joy. So this is what increasing our emotional intelligence does for us: more confidence, authentic leadership. It also helps us rebalance the central nervous system. It helps us with sleep and better digestion and just stronger connections with other people. So there's a lot of benefits to increasing our emotional intelligence. So here's my 6 keys for you today, because I want to make sure that you all know that these are probably the most important things I could distill it down to, because today I have this much information and I have this much time, right? So when we think about the keys to higher emotional intelligence, the first one is self-awareness. I've been talking about throughout this whole thing. The second thing is choose curiosity over judgment. When somebody triggers you and makes you feel angry, start to get curious. Ask yourself, I wonder why I'm feeling that way. I wonder what it was that did that, what caused that. Why am I having this judgment? Also be authentic, because what I find is a lot of people are afraid to share. And what I found is we're all human beings. If you have a pulse, which I think all of you do, and you breathe, you probably have some junk in there that needs to be cleaned out. It needs to be healed, right? So be willing to share that with people, because when you share, not only do you empower yourself, but they learn from your experience. Recognize when you're being insane, when you're acting a little crazy and nuts, and you're reacting instead of being who you really want to be. Make small changes, little steps every day add up. Acknowledge your wins. When something good happens, take time to really settle in. I had a really cool thing happen a week ago where I broke a record for myself in terms of something I had done for my business. And it took me a couple of days to actually allow myself to oh yeah, that's great. Give myself a pat on the back and really let myself feel it. It was actually one of my teachers said something to me, and I realized I hadn't let it in, and that was my awareness. And then ask for support. Emotional intelligence is about turning me into we. So ask other people to help you when you need the help. So I want to give you a couple of testimonials of clients that I've worked with. This is Kelly, and she says, after working with me, my understanding of myself, my passions, my dreams, my challenges, and how I hold emotions in my body has deepened. I'm feeling incredibly supported in every step of the way. This newfound clarity has significantly boosted my self-confidence, empowering me to chase what I genuinely desire. With Carla's nurturing guidance, I rekindled my passion for teaching and confidently secured my dream job with the salary I deserve. Our sessions led to the elimination of my persistent migraines. The journey with Carla was both challenging and deeply supportive, making the outcomes even more rewarding. I wholeheartedly recommend Carla's coaching and expertise, and I'm so proud of her. I actually just sent her an email the other day to say, Happy Halloween, I'm thinking about you. And she said, oh my God, every day I feel so grateful for the work we did together. I'm still learning. Things are still opening up for me, and things are great. And then this is Crystal P. She's amazing. She said, with Carla's support, I managed to bring to fruition all of the elements on my vision board and more. Our coaching sessions had indeed a significant ripple effect in the professional area. I had been thinking about leaving my job, but her work with me helped me find peace in my position. Subsequently, I got promoted to run my own department. I am now living my dream work at work, setting up a team and 5-year research plan aligned with my own vision of space for Earth and the people. I feel truly grateful for this change. And she's a rocket scientist, literally a rocket scientist. So I'm very proud of her and the changes that we did together. So I have a special offer for those of you today, and you'll be able to go to my website and get this for the next couple of days. It'll be up there for 2 days. So I'm going to offer you a rapid results business breakthrough session for anybody who's interested. This will help you create a crystal clear vision for your success, so you know exactly what you want in your business, in your life, where you're headed, and what you need to do to make it happen. I'll help you uncover hidden challenges that may be sabotaging your ability to make changes that last or that are slowing down your progress. And you're going to leave the session renewed, re-energized, and inspired to finally achieve the change you seek once and for all. And I will also help you heal at least one trapped emotion that you're dealing with. So that's potentially 10 to 12,000 thoughts that we could be releasing in one session. The value of that is $450, but for all of you, I have a very special thing today. It is only $99. And if you would like to work with me and that sounds good to you, you can go. I'm telling you, you won't get it for this price again. So I recommend, if you're interested, you do it. It's called, and you just go to businessbreakthroughwithcarla.com. That's businessbreakthroughwithcarla.com. And you will be able to sign up there and pay for that and schedule everything that way. And I know I'm here in the United States. A lot of you are in other countries, but I do run an international global networking group as well. And so I'm used to working with people in different time zones, and I'm happy to do so. So I want to thank you all so much thank you for posting that in the chat, for being here for my talk today. And again, thank you for your patience at the beginning with the technical problems. Does anybody have a question, or was anything not clear that you'd like to know more about? Let me see how fast those fingers can type. So I'm going to also invite you to put in the chat the most valuable thing that you learned from my talk tonight. So what is the takeaway? What was something that you got as a result of this talk? And we've got a couple more minutes here if anybody would like to post anything in the chat. Don't be shy. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any questions, and we don't have anybody wanting to post or share what they learned. So thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Melinda. Melinda.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was really a fabulous speech today. I know it was late due to some technical issues, but you have given a nice presentation for the audience. So we have a questions for our from our audience. Here is the question. So, how effective is essential hormonal healing?
How effective is it?
Yeah, how effective is essential?
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit. So I heard something about essential harmony healing. So we're
Yes,
pulling.
that's right.
Okay. So I've had very, very good results. I'd say that, about 97% of the people that come in to get work, to work with me, get exactly more what they wanted and then some. So it's pretty great because it's combining all these different healing modalities with the coaching. So you not only get to release the issue, but you also get the mindset to go with it, so that you don't repeat your mistakes from the past and you can move forward unencumbered in whatever your vision is.
That was really well answered, Carla. Thank you so much for joining this WIN Virtual Summit 2023 and sharing your valuable information with us. So thank you so much and have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the love in the chat, everybody. Have a good evening.
So hi everyone. This is Melinda Roy. I'm the host for the today's event WIN Ideas Virtual Summit 2023. So please join our next session and ready. So please go back and please join our next session and give your valuable comments and your love.